Hello, it is your girl Timmesha Shockley here, and welcome back to my channel where I strive to teach, aspire, and ship. So I'm very excited about today's video. Today, I'm going to be talking about sibling aggression. I'm going to say that one more time. So today, I am going to be talking about sibling aggression and conflict, why it happens. So today's video, I'm going to talk about why that happens within our siblings or within kids, why we see that aggression, why we see that bickering, that sense of conflict between them. And then I'm going to also talk about the importance of our role as the adult who would be handling this conflict, kind of what to do and how to go about it. So the first thing to know why sibling aggression happens or why sibling conflict happens is to remember that they are a child. So that's the first thing, that when you're seeing this aggression, when you're seeing this conflict happen, the first thing you want to remember is that they are a child. So with that in your mind, you have to remember that they're learning how to navigate and work through a lot of the things that they're encountering. Remember, they haven't lived 25 years on this earth. They haven't lived 29 years on this earth. They haven't lived 35 or 40 or 50 years, however old you are. They haven't lived this time on earth yet. So for them, they're learning, how do I handle my sibling coming up to me and snatching some food off my plate? How do I handle my sibling coming up to me and snatching a toy that I wasn't ready to give up yet? So they are really learning how to navigate, how to adjust, how to interact and deal with this conflict. So that's the first thing we must remember and to keep in our mind. The first thing is that we want to remember they are a child. So even your oldest child, if they're 15, if they're 8, 4, however old your oldest child is, you have to remember they are a child too. Okay? The second thing that we must know and recognize in sibling aggression and sibling conflict, especially with younger siblings, is this aggression, this conflict is going to stem from them trying to mark their territory. You know, especially for the young child who may be 4 or 5 or 6 even, and they have a new younger sibling, and they're like, wait a minute, like, I know, like, a couple of years ago, it was just me, or last month, it was just me. And now all of a sudden, I'm having to share my time, I'm having to share my toys and my things with someone else. So they're learning how to navigate that. They're learning how to adjust to that. So a lot of times, that sibling aggression and conflict is going to stem from them trying to stake their territory. Another thing that you want to do while you are handling your sibling aggression or that sibling conflict is you want to try to take yourself back to that age, and you want to see things from their perspective. So seeing things from their perspective, understanding that they are still growing, and understanding that this whole aspect of sharing, giving, is new to them. So they're not really understanding. They don't really have the development within their brain to understand that. Even like a perfect example is in my classroom, I'll have a student working with a specific work. And so I've been working with my kids. If you see a work that someone else is doing, you want to do it, you can ask them, hey, when you're finished, may I have this work, right? And that's something that my 3, 4, and 5-year-olds, they're learning what that means. Like for them, they think that means, oh, I have to give you my work now. And I'm like, no, that means that whenever you're finished, whenever you've done the work and you're ready to put it back on the shelf, after you put it back, you can say, hey, Johnny, I'm finished with this work. It's now your turn if you want to still do it. And so it's remembering that their brains are still developing and they're still learning what it means to say, you can have this after I'm finished. Or they're still learning, no, I don't want to share right now. And, you know, that may ensue in a conflict, or that may ensue in a tantrum or them wailing. But again, it's all a part of the process of them learning, hey, she's not finished playing with this yet, and she's not ready to share. and that's okay. But when it's my turn, I can have a turn. So there are so many little teaching moments within these conflicts that they are arising. And so a little later in this video, we're going to talk about the important role that we play in handling and dealing with this aggression and conflict that we see. Okay, and then the fourth thing that we want to remember while we're dealing with our child conflict and helping them to resolve this conflict is knowing that they are still in that phase, depending on the age, that they're in that phase of impulsive thinking. That impulsive, that rational part of their brain has not fully developed. So that's why when Sarah says that she's not willing to share the Play-Doh with Johnny yet, he falls out on the floor and he's freaking out like, oh, woe is me. She said she's not going to share the Play-Doh with me. So in his mind, that rational part of his brain has not developed. And because of that, he thinks because she said no, she's not going to share the Play-Doh, he won't ever get the Play-Doh. And so it's really important of our role and how we can kind of help them navigate that and come back from no, not right now, but later. And it's also important to know that their rational part of their brain has not developed and they're still super impulsive. And that's why, especially with young toddlers, that 1-2 range, that's when you see the biting happening, because they're not able to quickly communicate how they're feeling of, oh, I'm upset, or, oh, I want this work when you're finished. And this even happens when someone takes something that they're using, but they're not finished with it yet. So they don't have the ability yet to quickly communicate, hey, that's mine. Hey, I'm not finished. So their impulse, their first reaction is to bite. So that person, hey, gets the clear message, hey, I'm not finished, let it go. So those are the important things to remember as we are handling our sibling aggression, as we're handling that conflict. So again, you want to remember that when you are dealing with sibling aggression and sibling conflict, one, you have to remember the child is still a child. So they are learning how to navigate these situations and deal with them. I hope that these tips and these tricks helped you guys. Please be sure that you are subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any of my future uploaded videos. And I thank you guys so much again for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. All right, take care. Bye-bye.